Dummy.
You say, are we live?
This is my first time here.
Oh my God, bro.
This is my first time here, and we already got blooper right there.
Are we live?
Dummies, yeah! Sorry for that, folks. We ain't recording a week and
I'm
now
not
some
gonna lie.
people in there live. Yeah. We are the Dummies. I'm Naeem. That's Aquil, Futon, Josh. You got all four dummies all at one time. Thank you for joining us. Today, Sunday, we got some news about a release in WWE. Longtime active WWE wrestler R-Truth has been released today from his contract. And we're going to start with Josh, who was a big R-Truth fan. For those of you that saw the emergency pod, you know this. Josh, your thoughts on R-Truth getting released, fired, terminated?
That's bullshit. Alright, like, listen. We already had a match with freaking Mateo and
Right.
Cena. And then you release him?
Was in the main event, at Saturday main event, which we're
Right.
going to get to, against John Cena.
That's some bullshit. Look, this is what's up. Okay? Why? 17 years, I think, right? About 17 years? 17 years he's put his soul, his sweat, his blood into this company. And they release him?
Well, we all know that R-Truth was a Vince McMahon guy. He valued everything
That
that
has nothing to do with it.
Vince valued everything that R-Truth did
So
for
did
the
the
company.
WWE Universe.
But they're not in charge. They're not in charge.
We're not in charge.
We're in charge to a certain extent, but we're not in charge.
Okay.
It's Papa H, and concerning Papa H, there's been some
Papa H is
allegations
delusional.
about Papa H. Started with former disgruntled WWE employee MVP doing big in AEW. Bruno, what do you think about well, do you know about the allegations MVP is saying about Triple H?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a stretch. I think it's kind of a stretch. I don't think it's true. I just think they just made a tough decision, and I think with the new regime TKO, right, there's gonna be a lot of we may see this from time to time. We may not understand why certain wrestlers were released. Every time Braun Strowman got released, I didn't understand why, but he came back. He came back. Or when Nia Jax got released and she came back. So we don't really know how long he really he may be gone for a year and then he may come back. WWE never really fires anybody for forever.
Right.
Usually unless it's extreme. So
For the allegations, for people that don't know, it's MVP made claims that he feel like Triple H isn't putting enough effort towards black talent, especially male black talent. We saw that R-Truth got released today. Carmelo Hayes, who was heavily favored to be in the Money in the Bank match and possibly win it, get pinned. And the lack of black male stars on the PLE. Futon, your thoughts on these allegations about Triple H?
Well, for starters, regarding Carmelo Hayes, I see it as a blessing in disguise because I think it's another angle they could go with him, despite his loss. As far as other black talent, let's take a look at Trick Williams, for example.
NXT, Sean,
NXT. This is a guy who...
We're going to talk about Trick.
We can't talk about Trick. It's not main roster, so Trick is irrelevant.
there we
This
go.
conversation.
There we go. That's the spirit.
I
wanna talk
just
about
want to
Trick.
give him the example, though.
Yeah,
The fact that he was projected to go to the main roster, but now he's in TNA. It
right.
feels like a demotion, if you ask me.
A demotion, okay. Being a world champion is a demotion. It's crazy. I
No,
know
as
you
far
would-
as the
Is
brands
it because
go,
he went to TNA? Do you see TNA as a demotion?
give or take.
Give
I
or
don't
take.
Because TNA used to be the competition. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, for a year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for a year.
Like Impact Wrestling was the competition at one point. Now they're partnered.
They got movement now.
No, they got
And-
motion
and-
for
and
sure.
Admittedly, it's because of the partnership with NXT. But, I mean, come on. TNA, that's the shit.
Your thoughts on TNA?
It's trash.
They're like,
Oh
go
my
ahead.
God.
Go ahead.
It's
You guys are
trash.
gonna make this so difficult.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you know what? It's not trash. You know what? I'm just talking from the heyday to now, right? So when TNA first came on the scene, it was new energy, and it was a new wrestling company, and it was just filled with excitement. They're definitely in the rebuilding stages right now.
I remember seeing them on demand.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is TNA?
No, for real, the six
And getting
sides.
excited
Yeah, the
about
six
it?
sides. Yeah, it was
And
crazy.
then you saw your favorites, and then you saw new people.
Yeah, I never would I never would have fully known who AJ Styles was, and he's one of my favorite wrestlers ever. If it wasn't for TNA, so there it's been a lot of management changes over the years, and and that affects business as well. So I guess we'll see where this new partnership goes. Who knows with this partnership, TNA could be like they could be brewing the next face of the company of WWE eventually right now. So you never know. So we'll see.
Now, speaking of AJ Styles, we now know that on this Monday, there's going to be 2 qualifying matches for the Money in the Bank match. One for the male, one for the females. AJ Styles go up against El Grande Americano against CM Punk to join LA Knight, Solo, who else am I meant to? Penta, Seth Rollins, Andrade, who I didn't. Okay. And then on the women's side, we have Stephanie Valkyrie, NXT call-up Stephanie Valkyrie, going up against the returning Liv Morgan, fucked up, and Ivy Now, to then join Yulia, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, and Naomi. So I want to ask the dummies, who do you have winning these qualifying match? And most importantly, who's going to win Money in the Bank? So, Full-Time, we'll start with you.
The qualifying match, I want to give it to Stephanie for the simple fact they letting new talent into the atmosphere now. We already seen that with Yulia and Roxanne Perez.
Right.
I could definitely see Stephanie getting the shot for sure. As far as the qualifying match on Raw, I want to go with Seth Rollins.
He's out of the match. Qualifying match. Yo, you don't do the show for a week and you get 2 slip-ups, gang. Like, what you doing?
I understand what he means.
CM Punk,
You got it.
AJ Styles, El Grande Americano.
Americano. I appreciate that. Americano.
I'm going to say Grande for the simple fact Chad gave it off. So,
Aren't you? He had Liv. I mean, Alexa Bliss not even in the match, and she qualified first. Bruno, who you got winning, man? Qualifying match.
Okay. On the men's side, right? I got CM Punk winning because Seth Rollins is in the match, right? So you need that. You need that there, right? That tension there between those two guys. But AJ Styles and CM Punk being in the same ring, right? That's like exciting. So that could actually lead to like something else. CM Punk could end up winning this match, and then AJ Styles could be like, "You took away my opportunity," and like cost CM Punk,
That's
the money
real
in
fantasy booking.
It
right
is
there.
real fantasy booking, right? But it could happen. It could lead to like something, So to see them in the ring together, in WWE, hopefully it'll be exciting. But I got CM Punk winning the qualifying match.
Women's?
For the women, Liv more. Yeah, Liv.
He told me earlier, that's why I know.
Liv winning. Liv is gonna.
All
win.
right, so now since you have Liv winning the qualifying match and Punk winning the qualifying match, who do you have winning the Money in the Bank match?
Women's and men's.
Yeah.
I think my early pick was CM Punk.
It was on camera.
Yeah, it was CM Punk. I'm gonna go with CM Punk.
And the women's?
Women's, Rhea Ripley. Not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna stick to like tried and like tested.
Okay.
But Money in the Bank can be like a crowning of like a new main event scene, wrestler. But it really hasn't worked out in the last couple years. So I see it. I see established stars winning this year's Money in the Bank matches.
All right. Now Full-Time. People that are actually in the match.
I get it.
Who's gonna win the men's and the women's Money in the Bank ladder match?
For the women's, I'm going to call Naomi.
Okay.
For the men, I'm going to say LA Knight.
Okay.
I'm going to say.
Josh, who do you have winning the qualifiers and who do you have winning the match?
For the women's, Stephanie. I want to see Stephanie because I feel like they're going to do some. First of all, Stephanie versus Rhea. I know people want to see that shit. The fact that none of you just brought that up. Stephanie and Rhea.
We're running for time.
I don't give a shit, alright?
I don't want to
Rhea
cut off.
and Stephanie. That's what it's going to be, alright? Stephanie going to win the qualifying match. CM Punk's going to win the qualifying match. Money in the Bank, alright? Hear me out.
Okay.
Roxanne.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
It's a long
Roxanne.
shot.
Because there's too many rivalries happening in that goddamn match. You got Rhea and Liv. You know they're gonna get distracted. You got Stephanie, and who else? Yulia's gonna be in there, right?
Yeah.
If Stephanie wins, there's gonna be a rivalry. They're gonna be distracted.
No, but
Roxanne is only gonna, and she's just joined the Judgment Day. That's temporary.
Technically, she hasn't joined yet.
She's gonna join.
I
If
mean,
she wins the Money in the Bank.
I mean, my counter
It's gonna screw
argument.
over, Liv.
I gotta count. Like we saw Drew McIntyre. He won it. He was in a rivalry with CM Punk.
He was.
He won it, and look what happened to him. I mean, he didn't win when he cashed in, but he was in a rivalry already.
So if you're telling me Roxanne wins and she loses the cash in, I'm totally fine with that.
It could, maybe.
But I don't want her to win.
But all I know is
Who would want to see her win right now?
Nobody. I'm saying something negative. You guys. I have Stephanie. I think that Judgment Day is gonna distract Liv from winning the match. I got Stephanie, and then I got a Grande Americano or AJ Styles attacking each other. One of them gets pulled out. Karrion Kross gets in the match. Karrion Kross wins the Money in the Bank. I'm still sticking to my guns.
That's good.
And I got Naomi winning, like I said before.
Was that little
But if Karrion's not in the match, I got LA Knight as well with Futon.
some fantasy booking going there over there too?
A little bit.
I ain't gonna lie. I put some fantasy booking in there too.
I wanna see something exciting.
I know how y'all think like I'm like some elitist. Like I got my elitist point of views on
goddamn,
wrestling, right? But,
you are, goddamn.
But you know, throwing in some fantasy in there is kind of good, you know.
Right. Now, on the episode that we was talking about the WFD Championship, where we do predictions, whoever gets the most predictions right is the champion. I won, of course, because I'm better than them in predicting. So, for Money in the Bank, it's not going to be me defending my title, this lovely title. It's going to be these three guys. And then they're going to give their Money in the Bank prediction, right? If you pick the right Money in the Bank winner, you get the Money in the Bank briefcase. You get to challenge me in a video game or in a prediction battle for my championship. You're not going to win, but you can try. I applaud you guys for trying. Now, on to the next matter of hand. We have to talk about the pay-per-views that we didn't discuss this past week. Saturday Night Main Event. Okay? So we all had our predictions.
Saturday
We all
Night
had-
PLE.
Well, yeah, it says it counts as a PLE. You guys count as a PLE, right? Even though it's
I
commercials.
think it's a special, but
That's a good way.
I think it's a special. You know,
Right.
We could see like main event worthy like pay-per-view matches on that show.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. So we had John Cena versus R-Truth. Futon was the only one that had John Cena winning, right?
Of course.
And now with this news of him being released, it's like a somber moment. But how did you guys feel about that match in quick fashion, Josh?
I mean, let's be. I changed my answer. I changed my answer to R-Truth because I felt emotional. All right, I let my emotions get the best of me.
And I won.
Fuck you. Not for long. Anyways, yeah. So I'm okay with I'm okay with how it went. I'm kind of pissed off that Cody didn't go for our man's R-Truth to save him, but all right. I guess Jay was too important.
Right. We're going to get to that in a little bit. We also got to talk about the tag team match, Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins, CM Punk and Sami Zayn. You guys on the couch thought that Sami was going to turn heel.
We did.
We thought somebody else was going to join the fray. It turned out being Bronson Reed. From my point of view, you have two heavies, and we thought Braun Breaker was going to be the Batista, but now I see him in like the Randy Orton and like this evolution type of frame. Futon, what's your thoughts on Bronson Reed surprisingly joining this new faction?
I actually have a theory about that. I think it's still room for a fourth member. I'm going to be honest.
Right?
How about this? With everything going on with Judgment Day, what if it's Dom that's the one who turns on Judgment Day to join Seth Rollins?
Oh, I would love that. And then he's gonna be the
we got
automatic
some
leader.
we got some
since he's the champion.
we got some fantasy booking going on here today.
Some great fantasy booking. Some great fantasy booking. Okay, because I was surprised they already have a heavy, and then Bronson Reed came out. So that's another shocking thing about Saturday Main Event. But then, the main event, the World Heavyweight Championship match, Jey Uso versus Logan
And it main
Paul.
evented. And it main event.
We didn't pick it. None of us picked
It main evented.
But my question to you, Bruno, is because I'm getting flashbacks of Rey Mysterio first title reign, right?
With Jey Uso?
Yeah, because he was in the match and then he was getting attacked by John and Logan, and then Cody came to the rescue. And I don't want it to be that Jay's a world champion that needs to get rescued. Because that's like what I'm sensing, and I don't want that. So what is your thoughts about the match, and like how does it project Jey Uso in that light?
I think it was a good match. I think we all knew Cody Rhodes was either going to return here or at Money in the Bank sometime, because the main event of SummerSlam is going to be John Cena and Cody Rhodes, right? But I feel like they did what they needed to do to, like, you know, keep Logan Paul in the realm of like the main event scene, like with the champions. And I think it's good that John Cena and Logan Paul are teaming up right now, because we get a heel John Cena with a strong character like Logan Paul,
Right.
you know, going against like two people who could be considered the two top baby faces, right?
Yeah.
And like a non-title match where it's just like, it's a star-heavy match, you know, everybody's a star. It's at a big, you know, premium show, Money in the Bank. I don't think it makes him look weak. I don't think it makes him look weak. You know, my whole thought about Jey Uso was, you know, really good in the ring. Promos are, you know, not the best, but his entrance is amazing. So his entrance is like, you know, champion worthy. Okay. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I didn't think it make him look weak at all.
Now, Josh, you don't know this because you got here later than these two guys. They have a theory. Logan Paul winning the world championship and being the face of the company, they believe it's not a bad idea.
I don't think it is. I don't think it's a bad idea.
To be honest, like, what's the cons you see out of it?
Well, considering you're having the guy who filmed the dead body in the Japanese suicide forest as a world champion and face of a damn company.
But he's a heel.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Edge
though.
was a heel, and
It's
he
a
was
lot of
world
heels out
champion.
here.
He filmed the dead body in real. This is not storyline. He filmed the dead body and sent it to YouTube. YouTube. And then when people were backlash, he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I lacked some of my judgment." So your goddamn. He knew what he was doing.
We need that heat though. We need that heat at the
Yes.
top. We need that heat.
Most
We need
definitely.
that heat. A lot of people going to hate it, but he's kind of
We
good
need
in
a
the
guy
right.
who's
Nobody
gonna be
can
most
deny
hated.
Logan Paul is like, my bad futon for over like.
No, you're good.
I felt like I was yelling. But you know, Logan Paul, he's good on the mic. He's actually good in the ring. He actually has a good look. He's actually a big star. You know, we need stars at the top. You know, that's my opinion. My opinion's always been that we need big stars at the
I
top.
think he could take it to the next level.
That's a fact though.
I don't. I think he's where he's at.
Is it-
I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it only because he's a YouTuber?
No, he's an outsider.
So no.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what he was. If Bad Bunny wins the WWE Championship, he's going to be the face of the company.
He wasn't there. Bad Bunny hasn't been in the mix long enough. I know it's a wild take, but like.
Alright, so Saturday night main event, the next event is going to be held in Atlanta, Georgia. And it's been rumored that Goldberg wants to have his retirement match in Atlanta, his home state. So I want to ask the dummies, one by one. Futon, I'm going to start with you. Who do you think would be the perfect Goldberg's last opponent?
The perfect last opponent for Goldberg.
See if I'm on sleep. See what you
The guy I'm about to say is like a WCW guy. He was in WWE before already.
I'm about to
I
bring
would say
somebody.
Sting.
Jesus
God.
Christ,
What are
man.
we doing?
We take this fantasy booking too far.
Yeah,
we
this
gonna
is-
title this episode fantasy booking because this is taking
Hey,
it
yeah.
wild.
I mean, like
The
who
man
else
that
though?
retired a couple
Dang,
months ago?
man, that's actually pretty
Alright, so you want someone new?
Ain't somebody that's
I-
actually
Alright.
on the
No,
roster.
Alright.
You want to
Alright,
say?
bet. I want Braun.
Alright.
I want Braun.
Yeah.
I want him and Braun.
Sure.
Which one?
Breaker. The one that's fired?
Or you can find Bronson Reed. Why not?
I'm gonna wait for us to go.
No, he's the.
Nah.
Everyone's calling the next.
Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
Josh, who do you want for Goldberg to be his last?
Oh, I think Gunther, because he already had like a beef in back in Bad Blood.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think Gunther, and since they already have that animosity, I think it would be a great match, like
Right.
a good send off for Goldberg.
I agree with you. I think Gunther doing this needs to get some more momentum.
Yeah.
Him potentially beating a decrepit legend would go good. Like he can walk his head around like heading into the summer. Possibly looking for new challenges. He can have that under his belt. Bruno, who do you have as Goldberg's last opponent?
Absolutely nobody. Absolutely
What,
nobody.
himself? What the fuck? What you mean?
You don't want him there.
I don't want him there. I don't want them at the event.
Are you still mad about what he did to Bray Wyatt?
The dumbest booking decision in my life. I don't want him there.
He wasn't that.
He had his moment when he was excited when he first came back in WWE with The Rock and that whole year run that was good. Then when he came back with Brock Lesnar and they did that whole thing like for a year, that was great. Everything besides that, he almost killed The Undertaker. Like, come on now.
I didn't know we had.
You got me, brother.
Yeah.
You got me, brother.
Like, it's like, come on now. He doesn't. Goldberg has proven all he needs to prove.
Wow.
You know, his style is a young like person style.
That's
Goldberg's old now, so he can't have that same intensity and like ferocity which he used to compete with. You know, but that's my opinion.
Why did nobody say Gilbert?
That's how you bury him. That's how you bury him. Gilbert versus Goldberg. That's how you bury him. There you go.
That's just like 30 years in the making.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a fact though.
Look, we already got Bret Hart fucking bitching about Goldberg.
Natalia.
No.
All right.
That's for my father.
Uncle, actually.
Yo,
It was announced that WrestleMania
I know she related.
will no longer be in New Orleans. And there are people saying that within the TKO company that they want to have WrestleMania at Las Vegas as like a bi-yearly thing, making Las Vegas the home of WrestleMania. I want to get your guys' opinion on that, and I also want to see what you guys think. If you could put WrestleMania 42 in any city, where would you want it? Bruno, go.
How I feel about it being in Las Vegas, like like bi-yearly.
Yeah.
Just to keep it?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It kind of feels like WrestleMania kind of been at the same places the last couple years. So honestly, it's like one year they did Texas, one year they did Florida, the next year
They go back to Texas.
or they go back to someplace in Florida, you know, Tampa,
Yeah.
Orlando, right? So now that they announced it, I think we're more aware, like to like, oh, they're gonna be here like every other year, right? When honestly they was in Florida every other year at one point, or they was in Texas every other year, or they was in California, you know, or they was New Orleans. New Orleans for like was a hotbed for WrestleMania.
30 and I think
Yeah.
37.
Yeah, so I mean, ideally, I wouldn't like that. I would like them to go travel to like different states, like, you know, every year. That's what I would like.
What's your pick?
My pick for where I think WrestleMania 42 should be? I think WrestleMania 42 should be in. Where has it been in a minute? Oh, you take it back to Arizona.
Arizona?
Arizona.
Okay.
Hot. It's hot there.
What's the last time they've been in?
26.
26.
Yeah.
Josh, what's your
Alright, hear me out.
thoughts on TKO and then WrestleMania 42 location?
Hear me out, alright? For WrestleMania location, alright? SmackDown. If anyone knows, you know, SmackDown games and SmackDown vs. Raw, SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, they let you fight in Times Square, right? Correct?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Replace the stairs
no.
with a ring and let WrestleMania be the center of Times Square right there.
There's some New York shit
Like,
going on.
you know how they had it? You know how they had it?
You see
know how they had it in the
what-
stages?
WrestleMania 50 will not be at MSG off of that one comment alone.
No, hear me out, alright? You know how, you remember you like the stage, how they can sit on the stage?
Yeah.
Right there? Sit on the buildings, bro. They can hold it up.
Fantasy booking right
Come
there.
on, my man.
I'm thinking about
SmackDown, Here Comes the
parking
Pain
and
that
the
way.
traffic alone.
Oh, yeah, come on. They can redirect it. They've been redirecting traffic since fucking I was born. Come on.
Full time? Where would you
Nah.
want to see WrestleMania? It's different. Where do you see WrestleMania 42 being located? Or your thoughts on
this it's
Stay
gonna be
in Vegas.
different. I want to see WrestleMania in San Diego.
I love San Diego.
Oh,
Best
okay,
place on
San
okay.
Diego.
Okay. When was it there? Was it
I
there?
Never
don't
there.
think WrestleMania
No.
has
But
ever
they-
been.
31?
They do it.
Where was 31?
31 was Santa Clara.
Mm.
I think if Survivor Series does good in San Diego, we can finally get a San Diego
That'd be cool.
WrestleMania.
I wouldn't
love
mind
San
that. I
Diego.
wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all.
All right.
That'd actually be pretty tough. I ain't gonna lie.
I would like to see WrestleMania 42 in. I love Seattle. I want Seattle. Or
The baseball field? Like go back to Seiko
no, Century
Field?
Link. Century Link. We can do it. Century Link.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's a vibe.
Or since we possibly will be going to WrestleMania this year, I want to go to London, UK.
The O2. The O2.
Yeah, let's do it.
O2.
And I know you like it because you hate AEW.
That's a fact,
So
though.
they can walk in their trap and take over their trap.
That's a fact. Fuck them niggas, man. They put on that abomination of a show. We gonna talk about that next time. But
Speaking of the show, that's the next topic. The AEW just had their Double or Nothing pay-per-view where we saw the Owen Hart tournament finals. We saw Jamie Hayter losing to Mercedes Moné, and then we saw Hangman Adam Page defeating Will Ospreay, which means that in All In, we're going to get Mercedes Moné versus Thomas Tony Storm, and then we're going to see Hangman Adam Page versus Dean Ambrose, John Moxley. Futon, your thoughts on these two upcoming matches at All In?
Let's start with the Mercedes Moné one.
Right.
At this point, it's like they're trying to build her into Trish Stratus. They're trying to make her into like a Trish Stratus as
You see that?
a little bit, yeah. Like, what was her gimmick? The belt collector? Like, why she had all those titles?
Hasn't she lost a few titles already?
I think only one.
yeah, I think she was one.
I don't get a Trish Stratus.
I don't really
vibe.
follow what
Like,
she
that's
does.
what they're like trying to mold her into, so to say. Not that I see her as a Trish Stratus, but that's where they're trying to make her.
I don't know.
Like, you don't understand? Like, you don't get what I'm
No, I don't. I really don't.
Alright, what do you don't understand? Like,
It's two different
What
people.
do you don't understand? I understand it
alright, what do you
completely.
not understand? You understand? Yeah! No, you didn't.
That's not it. That's not it, champ.
Okay.
No, but like, why is she only getting like all the opportunities though?
You should
So
see
you
the
thought Trish
CEO.
was the only one getting the opportunities?
That's her
It
thing.
seems like
See-
it's mainly her and Tony Storm that's just getting mashed on. Like,
Well, Tony Storm is helping that company.
She is carrying that shit. Let's be honest, she's
you know
carrying
who
that
else is
shit.
carrying that company? MJF.
Yeah, that's true.
But we're talking about the women's side right now.
Yeah.
Just try. Okay, Josh, what do you yo, you can't skip no more weeks full time.
I mean,
Josh, what
I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't really followed
It's not
that
surprising.
that much with AEW. But like, look, I'm gonna cut it short. Tony Storm, I want you to kick that bitch's ass. That's it.
Damn, she was in the Mandalorian.
I know, but like, that's true. She was in the Mandalorian. I'm sorry,
Okay, so since the guys talking
but still,
about
Tony.
Tony
kick
and
her
Mercedes, John Moxley and Hangman Adam Page, the few people in AEW you do know, when
I know
they had
Sasha-
Will
I know
Ospreay
Sasha
in the
Banks.
match, but he lost. So we could have got Will Ospreay versus John Moxley.
Yeah. I think I would have enjoyed Will Ospreay and Dean Ambrose a little bit more than Hangman Adam Page. But I know Hangman Adam Page is like one of their guys, so you
Right.
know, so they put him in that spot. I see Dean Ambrose winning that match because I think Will Ospreay is like the guy right now, like the guy who they want to be the champion one day. So I think he's gonna be the next AEW champion after Dean Ambrose. That's my long take, but I got Dean Ambrose beating Hangman Adam Page.
Okay, another huge match that happened at AEW Double Nothing was the Anarchy in the Arena match.
Staples. The
Staples
match.
Staple Mania, baby.
The Staples match.
50 minutes. They had music playing during the match. They had staples. They had glass bottles getting hit over people's face. And you were surprised that wasn't the main event. Talk about it. Talk about your favorite company.
It's not my favorite company.
Second favorite?
I just want to know what made them go with the Staples angle. Like I've seen it before, and like I've been like, but they just OD'd it like on the Staples. Like it's like a staple. You ever seen a Young Bucks match and it's just a bunch of super kicks, right? This was like that, but just with staples. You get a staple. You get a staple. You get a staple. Like I don't want to see that people getting stapled on their tongue, and this is why I think they a joke. because WWE would never do some nonsense like that. Like I'm gonna staple somebody's tongue. I'm gonna put them in the air and staple them. Next thing you know, I'm gonna do like a somersault staple. Then somebody had fucking thumbtacks in their shoe, like
Swerve. And then he
oh my god, God, that's the needle man, right? That's the needle
That's
man.
the needle man.
Yeah, look, like who keeps allowing them to put this on television? Like this.
Tony,
That fucking idiot, bro. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, man.
I didn't laugh when the Young Bucks came in dressed as the forefather. I thought that was stupid.
I thought it didn't make no sense when Swerve came in as a fucking predator. I didn't make no sense why the Young Bucks came in as the new American Revolution going on Blue Bloods.
And they had that shit for the whole match.
I do not understand it. Like, I don't get it. And the fact that this wasn't the last match. It was 2 more matches left. After all that, we seen human beings get stapled. They didn't use every furniture, every weapon you can think of. They flying off of stuff. Like, and that wasn't the last match. Like, I was surprised, right? I was surprised that was not the last. And they played a song during the match. I didn't
repeat.
Dumb, just dumb. That does not make sense at all.
Josh, what is your thoughts on the Anarchy in the Arena match?
I was confused.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of confused.
And I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry. The main event was not strong enough. If Will Ospreay and Hangman Adam Page would have had a stronger match, not saying those 2 guys aren't capable of doing it, but if it was stronger, I wouldn't have felt like that, right? If that last match was stronger, but nothing could top all that nonsense. What was going on in the Anarchy out of nowhere match?
I got nothing. I don't know how to explain it.
You don't. We can't move on from the next topic.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, moving on to the next topic. Somebody who loves AEW is Dave Meltzer. And it was reports saying that he made a claim saying that he believes that Sol Ruka in the next 5 years will be a better in-ring performer than Charlotte Flair. Futon, you love Sol Ruka.
I do.
You've seen Charlotte work. What's your take on this? Where do you see Saruka? Do you see her getting to Charlotte level, surpassing it, reaching it? Like, what do you see her at?
I definitely see her up there on that caliber for sure.
Like a Trish Stratus?
She does
I wasn't talking about her.
Okay.
That's silent.
She does the RKO flip.
Yeah.
The Soul Snatcher.
Yeah.
That's the move, the RKO
That's
flip.
the best move right now in NXT.
She's cool.
All right, look, first of all, RKO is actually a cutter, all right? You can't just be like, the Soul Snatcher is a pretty cool move, and you can't just demean it like, oh, you know, the other move she took, she just made it her own.
I didn't say she
Randy
took
Orton did the same thing with fucking Diamond Cutter's cutter.
Listen, we
Cutter.
we like Diamond Dallas Page, and we like his yoga classes, and we like what he doing. We like him like the rehabilitation center for wrestlers, right?
Right.
We like that, right? But that move is known as RKO now. You know, it's an RKO. It's not our fault that Randy Orton just became like one of the biggest wrestlers that ever
Fisherman
lived.
carry.
That's an AA. That's an FU. Where I come from, that's an FU.
Where we from?
You know,
I always said FU. I mean, I know I say attitude adjustment, but like
it's an
it
FU.
doesn't sound right to me.
It's an FU.
I have to be correct about
It's
it.
an
It's
FU.
actually the attitude adjustment. But I'm like, nah, fuck it. It's fuck you, all right? It's FU.
It's an FU.
Josh, what's your thoughts on Saruka projecting to be better than Charlotte in 5 years? To Dave
I feel like Charlotte's just going. So you know, if anybody's gonna, who said that? Someone said.
Bruno said it.
Bruno said. Anyways, anyone's gonna, I guess, beat her in performance in the ring. I think, yeah, Sol Ruka can do it.
I mean,
not right now, but like again later down the line.
Charlotte's done a lot, bro. Like, that's a tall task. Like,
that's wild to say, bro. We haven't even seen her on the main roster yet, and like,
I mean, I'm just sick of her.
You don't like stars being stars.
I don't like stars being stars. I like the underdog. You're right. I do like the underdog. All right. I'm the yes. All right.
I like Daniel Bryan too, but he was a star.
He needs to start wrestling again. What's his excuse?
He retired.
Come out of retirement, damn it. All right.
Just forcing people out of retirement.
A lot of fantasy going on today.
Yeah, a lot of it, right?
So, speaking of fantasy booking, you heard what the Dummies said about who they got winning the Money in the Bank match, but now it's for the Money in the Bank event, okay? I'm going to go in a line this way, and I want you to tell me who you have winning the matches. We have 2 down, 2 more to go, and we have 1 speculated match, okay? So, for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, it's the rematch, Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. If Lyra wins, Becky cannot compete for the title anymore. while Lyra's champion. If Becky wins, Lyra has to hand over the championship to Becky. So, from left to right, Bruno, who do you have winning?
Lyra.
Lyra? Okay. Boo?
Lyra. Becky.
Okay. It's gonna be interesting. All right. The tag team match: Logan Paul and John Cena versus the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes and the World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso. Who do you guys have?
We got to keep the hills hot.
Logan and John.
Logan and John. We got to keep the hills hot.
Logan John.
Okay. All right. And the speculated match.
Who you think gonna win?
Well, I'm not defending my title,
But I just want to hear who you think gonna win.
I think
Should we?
I think if they're trying to make John Cena be unbeatable, I can see his first loss being in a tag team match where he doesn't get pinned. I think that's an out. And Cody's just now coming back from WrestleMania.
I think he might lose at SummerSlam. Now that I think about it, but that we can say that for another. And John Cena.
You don't think they're gonna do it in Night of Champions, Saudi Arabia?
them wrestling?
Yeah.
DQ.
Okay.
DQ finish.
Okay. And then for Becky and Lyra, I have Becky winning.
You heard what I meant? Like DQ finish will be like a DQ finish.
Yeah, I know you said DQ.
Yeah, so it'll be like nobody really won. So.
Right. It sets up for the rematch.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to exclude you guys out. I'm just saying. But I have Becky winning because I really think Bayley's going to come back.
Yeah.
And Bayley's going to come in and they're going to do this. I can see it being like a triple threat match. Bayley, Lyra, and Becky for the women's championship to make it mean something more. And the speculated match that I think is going to happen is the United States Championship match. Damian Priest called out Jacob Fatu this past week on SmackDown. So I think that's where they're going for that fifth match down the line. Who do you have winning?
Jacob,
for sure. Jacob.
Nobody got Damian.
No.
All right. Okay.
I already talked about it before, but like he's already been a so-called top champion. So like,
I feel like even if he wins like the championship, it's not gonna do anything for him.
I think he leads a lot more things that he needs to work on.
Okay.
You know.
Futon, Damian Priest.
Jacob.
Remember last time you did pick Damian, he won.
You're not in this match. I don't know why you're trying to convince him. I thought champions don't participate.
I can only see Damian winning as solo
strings.
call. I can only see that happening.
Okay. All right. So now, as you know, if you get a prediction right, you get 1 point.
Yep.
For the Money in the Bank, if you get it right, you get 3 points, right? And then if you get both of them right, it's a total of 6 points added to your total. And the +5 for this event is there's been speculation. It doesn't go what you think, but there's been speculations that at SummerSlam we're going to get a 6-man tag team match. That the main event at SummerSlam is going to be Cody Rhodes and the returning Uso brothers versus John Cena, Logan Paul, and Travis Scott. So,
oh my
the
goodness.
5-point question is: will Travis Scott interfere in the tag team match at Money in the Bank?
I pray to God no. I pray to God no.
You don't want it to happen?
No, I do not.
I would hope not. I'm not even going to lie.
Didn't you just say an outsider being the face of the WWE would be a good thing? But now it's Travis Scott.
But what has Travis Scott done in the ring?
He was involved in the main event.
No, what has he done in the ring?
Has he done any indie circuits? Has he done anything WrestleMania, like Wrestle-esque before WWE?
Has he ever held a title in WWE?
Yeah, he's the current defunct.
No. He is going to interfere, but I don't want him to interfere.
He's involved in the 3 biggest moments of this year. WWE.
Oh, wow, yeah, that's great. That's fantastic.
So none of you is going to take the +5, even if you don't believe it?
He's going to show up. Yes, he's going to interfere, because that's what, the heels has to be fired. I don't like the idea, but he's gonna show up. He's going to fuck up the match.
Bruno?
I had a brain fart. Repeat the question. I seriously had a brain fart. I'm
None
sorry.
of you are going to take the +5?
No.
Even
On the Travis Scott, we still on the Travis Scott stuff?
Yeah.
Come on, next topic, bro.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
As you see, there's 4 dummies here, so we're going to do a quick segment of TNA segment. Josh, our resident TNA guy, we need you to break down what's important in TNA for us right now.
Alright, so, damn, a lot of things happened. I can't even talk about Under Siege. Talk Under Siege. So this is what's going to happen, alright? Trick Williams, and yes, we're going to talk about Trick Williams, winning the championship of Joe Hendry. That's crazy. That's insane. But it's okay. I have hope that Mike Santana, and against all odds, which is a pay-per-view for TNA, check it out, is going to enter the match. He's going to win it back, alright? I have hope that he's going to regain that championship to where it belongs. Because screw Trick Williams. It's not Trick-N-A, alright? It's TNA. So there's your damn news. Oh, also, I have to give my man Steve Macklin. He retains his championship against Matt Cardona, which was a fire match. It was great. Steve Macklin, awesome. And that's it there.
Okay.
Dang, Trick Williams in TNA now?
No, he's still in
Oh,
NXT.
it's like
He
the
can't
brand-
even. He didn't even show up to TNA to give him his announcement. He just talked
the
on the
brand
screen.
exchange partnership,
No.
the company exchange.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, it's sort of like that.
The motion, okay.
It's not a demotion.
Chick Willie. Now, before we end this episode, I just gotta say something. Our first episode, we talked about the releases of Cora Jade and Gigi Dolan, and those were people I thought could be future NXT Women's Champion. And I get that you wanted to call up Stephanie Valkyrie to Monday Night Raw.
Oh,
And with a roster with Kalani Jordan, Soruka, Zarya, Lash Legend, Thea Hell,
oh.
Fallon Henry, out of all people.
There's somebody named Lash Legend. Damn.
Can I do my
I'm
soliloquy?
sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
You pick JC Jane. JC Jane.
This is the equivalent, right?
Let's say,
Who's hot?
And WWE as a
Yeah,
woman
like, who's hot right now?
on the main roster.
It would have been.
Let's say
Gigi
Cody Rhodes is
Dolan.
WWE champion, right? Cody Rhodes is WWE champion. Angelo Dawkins beat him for the WWE championship.
Who?
Street Profits. Angelo Dawkins.
Exactly. Who?
That's-
No, like I know who it is, but like who? Like
That's how this goes.
I know who that is, but like who's gonna beat Cody? No.
That's what JC Jane beating Stephanie Valkyrie felt like.
Damn, that's crowd. That's wild. That's wild.
The only thing I think is that she's a transitional champion. Mariah May comes to WWE next week and then beats her. But other than that is crazy. I had to tell Futon. I didn't want Futon to experience this by himself. I had to tell Futon. JC Jane beat Stephanie Valkyrie.
That's wild.
Your thoughts?
We could have had Gigi though. We could have had freaking Cora Jade as the freaking NXT champion. They went with shit. I would have been fine with Fallon. They went with freaking JC Jane.
I'm not gonna lie. We could have got a heel Kalani.
We could have got a heel Kalani.
Like a heel Kalani on the mic. Think about that, man.
That would have been fine, actually, to be honest with you. I'm with you.
You see what I mean?
We good.
You guys are cozy over there in that corner?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, screw JC Jane. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who's JC Jane?
I want to give a shout out to Annie Sugar and Dip. Follow the pastry page on Instagram at sugar_dips. You guys, this has been the first Wrestling for Dummy episode with all 4 members. We hope that you join us. Continue this. Like, subscribe, follow. Futon?
Are we out?
No, I think you were saying hit that button. Yo,
Are we out? Like, subscribe, hit that button. Damn right.
Alright, yo, peace.